All right, so as I promised yesterday, I will be giving you my rankings of the best Star Wars movies, and as I promised also yesterday, my kid brother's joining me, so welcome to the newest episode of Super Dario Brothers.
Super Dario Brothers! New challenger approaches!
It's a me,
Dario!
Stop it! Give me the mic!
All right. Eric, welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast. How's it going? The last time anybody spoke to you, I guess nobody spoke to you but me. But the last time anybody heard from you, you were going to Japan. You want to update everybody on that? You want to give everybody an update of what happened there?
No. Next question.
All right, okay. Moving on then.
I didn't know we were starting off with politics, damn it.
All right, so...
I got some choice words.
All right, fine. We'll avoid that hot topic.
Let's go to the non-controversial topic and, talk about how
abortion.
Star Wars sucks.
All right, okay. That's... Before we get into that, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Shan on Instagram or at Super Dario World. Also, follow me on Facebook, Super Dario World. I update everything there. Eric, do you want anybody to find you anywhere?
No, not really. Just look me up on Tinder.
Okay. I'm not sure that's how Tinder works, but okie dokie.
I'm not sure either, but I gotta start getting likes somehow.
Nah, that is true. All right, so right now, just to clarify, I'm in San Diego, you're in TJ. If they hear a bunch of crying around, it's not just Eric, it's you got the puppies nearby. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not just me.
Okay, yeah, he's a whiner, but he's not the echo will be the puppies. All right, so
it sounds way deeper when I cry.
Exactly. He cries like a man. Anyways. Anyway, just to clarify,
I can make a small recreation of when my Japan flight got canceled.
Oh, please do. It ain't fair, man. This ain't fair. All right.
Damn you, Rona.
So to clarify, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I believe that this has been a quote from you, and you've said that Star Wars is trash, right?
That's fair to say, yeah.
All right, but however, you love the universe, you love the lore, you love pretty much everything that doesn't have to do with the movies, correct?
Okay, actually, yeah, that is way more. That's true.
So you
I like the extended universe. I like the video games. I like the idea of Star Wars, but the actual movies themselves are the worst part.
All right, so you love the franchise. Let's just say you love the franchise, correct? And not necessarily the movie franchise.
Sure, because I also love the toy line, and I had the Legos and shit.
All right, okay, so that's fair. That's where you stand, and I can see now why you didn't want to let people know where they could find you, but...
Yeah. Ooh, let me give them my PayPal, though.
Oh. Venmo, please. All right, so let's get started with this. We're going to do a rankings of all the Star Wars movies, okay? There's 12 total. We're going to do some rankings, and we're going to do this from worst to best, all right? You got your rankings, I got mine, and I guess each one will try to defend his. Does that seem fair?
I don't see myself defending the very bottom ones, but yeah.
I mean, you defend why they're at the bottom.
Okay. The ranking is...
Yes, you defend your rankings. You defend your opinion. That's how that works.
Okay, I can try to do that.
All right. So, do you want me to start?
Go for it.
All right. Okay. So to me, the very worst movie that has anything to do with Star Wars at the very bottom of the tier is easy Solo. Solo, a Star Wars story. I can't tell you how much I hated that movie. Did you even watch it?
No. which is why it's not at my bottom.
What? Okay. All right. Before I explain why Solo, I need to know which one is at your bottom.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, Solo is my number 9, and it's because I haven't seen it. Therefore, the ones that are below it are worse than something I have not seen.
Did you not hear me complain about that movie enough? Did you not hear me bitch about the plot enough?
I have heard you complain for 24 years.
Incessantly. I complained about that movie incessantly.
Yes.
And still, that's like, do you have that little respect for me? Do you have that little respect for my opinion? It's a movie about my favorite fucking character in Star Wars. Han Solo's my favorite fucking character, and I thought it was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe. And still, that doesn't even get me a nod. Like,
I just think you might be a little bit biased. Is all I'm saying.
All right, fine.
Plus, I've heard you talk a lot about recent anime, and I'm honestly starting to question your tastes.
Shut the fuck up. We're not talking about anime right now, and I like it because it's trash. Okay.
That's why I kind of enjoy Star Wars. But I'm not going to pretend it's good.
All right, so why I think it's the worst thing in the Star Wars universe, it completely ruins the character of Han Solo. Han Solo, we see him in the beginning of the story as a rogue, as a dude who doesn't want to be a hero, a dude who always runs away. Here in the movie Solo, he actually wants to be a hero. So logically, the movie should end with him getting eating so much shit at the end for trying to be a hero that he's like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna be a hero anymore, right?
Right.
That never happens. Actually, he's pretty successful. We see him the entire movie chasing a girl that we've never heard of. I've seen every other single Star Wars movie. We've never even heard him mention that girl, think of her, anything, nothing. But he chases her for years. And even more ridiculously, he starts off kind of working for the mob of a planet, and they're trying to escape that planet by going to the airport for some reason and joining the army, because that's where you join the army, at the airport. And so they're trying to smuggle themselves into the airport. She gets caught, and his plan to rescue her is, I'm going to join the army for 3 years, and then I'll come back to save you. I don't know if anybody fucking knows this, but that's not how the mob fucking works. If they get you, they're going to fucking take it out on you immediately. They're not going to wait 3 fucking years for you to come back. The plan is nonsensical. Then there's a whole bunch of shenanigans there. The movie's not sure what it wants to be. You got the Woody Harrelson character who actually when in the shootouts, Woody Harrelson, he's dodging, he's taking cover, he's actually being pretty cool. And then you got the rest of the Star Wars characters just standing around in front of a fucking turret, not getting hit. It's like, pick one. Are you actually gonna make a good movie where you actually have to take cover, or are you going to go the Star Wars route where you're just standing there and not getting hit? It's insanity.
I mean, to be fair, they're in a movie with Emilia Clarke, and they can probably assume that they have the plot armor that Jon Snow had.
Dude, don't even get me started on Emilia Clarke's character. She makes no fucking sense throughout the fucking movie. Also, she's a terrible actress. Also, for some odd reason, there's a group of like the pre-rebellion dudes. It's kind of like the beginning of the rebellion. Those dudes killed the wife of Woody Harrelson, so a friend of actual Han Solo's. And then for some reason they decide to team up with them. It's like, oh yeah, it's not like you just killed one of my best friend's wives and who I actually liked. It makes no fucking sense. Like, nowhere does that movie make sense, and it ends up with Han Solo actually trying to be heroic instead of being the lovable scoundrel who we know would have just run away. So I hated that. It destroyed so many things. It made no fucking sense. The movie was never sure what it wanted to be. It added nothing to the plot. It added nothing to nothing. So that's why it's my number 12. Your turn, buddy boy.
All right. Those points were all probably fair and whatnot, and I know you love Han Solo.
Yeah, but you don't care because you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it's probably just mediocre like the rest.
You son of a bitch.
However, in terms of terrible, I'm going to go with the probably not that controversial pick of The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi? All right, elaborate. Why?
Okay, so I'm actually going to start out being a little bit fair to the movie, and I'm going to point out that some stuff within it is really excellent. I think the scenes between Kylo and Rey, they were excellent. I believe the scenes with Rey and Luke, even though she still never trained under Luke, and somehow she ended up being a master swordsman by the end.
I think what you mean is that Mark Hamill's performance is really good, because their scenes weren't actually that great. him like licking the boobs of a weird alien manatee was just. Meh.
Yeah, my boy Mark is a freak.
All right.
But I didn't mind that because Star Wars has always been goofy trash. But I thought those scenes were just the best part of the movie by far.
So the one-on-one stuff, you were okay with the one-on-one stuff?
Well, mostly just the Rey Kylo and Rey Luke scenes.
Okay.
Because then we get to the bad stuff.
All right, no. You have to explain why it's the worst.
Oh, yeah. I was just giving it like the little playing devil's advocate right now.
Okay.
The movie's a piece of shit. It's really boring. The pacing is terrible. The characters are unlikable. They introduce Rose, who is, well, forgettable. That's
a very nice word.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna put it there. Like she's forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice she wasn't in most of Rise of Skywalker. I didn't even remember she died. Honestly,
she died in Rise of Skywalker.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
No, I think I saw her at the end.
Yeah. Well, forgettable.
Is my mom right behind you?
No, I just think my mic's really powerful.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
Like she's literally on the other end of the house.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So first, the light speed thing that they did with the ships. It simply makes zero sense in continuity. The whole
what
the whole
hell?
casino planet.
Did you? Was that on your end?
Did you hear the motorcycle?
Yeah.
This mic is really powerful.
Yeah, maybe lower the gain a little there, buddy.
Let me try that real quick. Talk shit about Star Wars while I'm doing it.
I mean, well, I want to talk shit about The Last Jedi, but it's not the way at the bottom. This is you're the one that has to defend why it's the worst. I already talked shit about what I thought was going to be the worst one. Last Jedi, surprisingly, is it's not all the way at the bottom for me, and precisely because of the reasons you just mentioned. I really, really like the whole Kylo Rey stuff. I like how they set it up. I like their interactions. I like the whole intertwined destiny stuff like that. I really enjoy that type of stuff. So I can't fight that end too much. Are you still there, by the way? Because all of a sudden I don't hear anything. Okay, all right. So
does it sound better now?
Yeah, it sounds way better.
Okay.
All right, continue.
Okay. I agree that it had pretty high highs, but it has some of the worst lows of the entire franchise. Like, okay. We get this entire Casino Planet subplot thing strictly because Holdo, that was her name, right?
Yeah.
General Holdo?
Yep.
Simply because she refused to tell one of her captains the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Poe straight up asked her, like, so what's the plan? And Holdo is like, it's classified, bitch. and Poe's like, what do you mean it's classified? Like, we're kind of being shot at by the First Order. Like, we gotta have a plan. And she's like, it's classified. So Poe is like, okay, so I have to, like, I have to try to fix this myself. I have to deal with this situation. You get him going with Finn and Rose and the no good guys, no bad guys, just business guy who betrays them and almost cost them the entire thing. When Holdo could have simply told Poe, we're actually hiding out in that salt planet and pretending we're making a jump, and we could have avoided that entire goddamn subplot.
Yeah,
that's like 40 minutes of the movie you could have just straight up cut out.
Yeah, it was completely ridiculous and unnecessary, and it's weird because Poe was second in command to her at that point. It makes no sense.
There was no reason not to trust Poe. Yeah, he's like a rogue type character who's a little bit of a bad boy, but he's the goddamn captain.
Yeah. So all right, so that's your worst one. I'm gonna wait to rip into that one a little bit later because it's not my worst one. But what do you think is like the worst crime the movie does? Because to me, it's pretty simple, and I'll save it for mine.
So, I don't actually think it destroys Luke's character. Like, I'm okay with characters changing as they grow older. You know, their beliefs change. That's depending on what they see and whatnot. Had they dealt with the whole Snoke and Kylo situation well, I could have seen Luke becoming this, hermit guy who just didn't care anymore and, just gave up on stuff. Because that sort of stuff does happen. But they just didn't handle it well, and we never ended up knowing anything about Snoke. Luke has this whole fight with Kylo when it turns out he's a Force, but Luke dies anyway, so what was the point of the Force Ghost thing? Why didn't he just go there?
It looked cool. Like, it was clever, but yeah, it made no fucking sense. I think that's the problem with the movie. It made no fucking sense. But all right. Let's...
And here's the worst part of the whole thing. The whole throne fight with the Praetorian Guard is by far the worst fight choreography in Star Wars.
Ooh,
and it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way upon first viewing. You might actually think it's good, but that's because your eyes naturally go towards the heroes. They're the ones who you want to see them survive and whatnot. But if you see that fight and you look at the actual guards themselves, it makes zero logical sense.
Sometimes they just miss Rey on purpose. It's like just
sometimes
so that they're moving.
Sometimes they're just literally just dancing in the background.
Yeah, no. To me,
it looks like a Power Rangers fight.
That's exactly what it looks like. There's a dude who has a clean shot to Rey's back, and he just misses for no reason.
There's a dude whose dagger straight up disappears because, like he has two daggers, and he's about to stab Rey, and then they make an edit, and all of a sudden he doesn't have a dagger.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, the slow motion reviewing of that is let's just call it painful to watch. But all right, let's move on to because we got a lot to go through here. So let's go to
that's actually the movie I had the most to say about. So
that's the one you had the most to say about.
Well, there's just a lot of it. And they had Leia floating in space, which.
Yeah, of course. That's what
it gave us pretty good memes, but
that's the worst moment in film history. But all right,
I think that's the worst moment in human history.
Maybe. All right, so let's just do this. If that's the one that you had the most to say about, let's just continue with my rankings, and you can just add your opinion there. You just say where you would have put them. All right.
Okay.
All right. So my number, what is it? Number 11 here. It might be a little controversial, but I have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, hear me out, because I know that there's a lot of fight between Last Jedi, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, but to me, that one is worse because, first off, if out of all the things that come out from Star Wars that came out that are about the Clone Wars era, that particular period, this is the worst thing. So it's anything that has to do with the Clone Wars. This is the worst part of all of them. It doesn't compare to the video games. It doesn't compare to the TV shows. It doesn't compare to the other animated movies. Nothing. So it's
none of the movies compared to the other stuff.
Exactly. There's only really two good things that came out of this. One is Natalie Portman in the white suit I
have that in my notes.
Of course, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Of course. What's the name of that stupid planet? It's escaping me, but yeah.
Fucking cares. They have dumb names.
Exactly. I want to say Dantooine, but I know that's wrong. But anyway, so that Padme Amidala with that suit, it's worth the price of admission, right? The other thing is Christopher Lee as Count Dooku.
Yeah, Dooku's freaking awesome.
Dooku's on. The only issue here, and all right, the big issue that I have with the movie is that none of it makes any sense plot-wise. Like, they had to make an entire fucking series to try to explain what the fuck happened in that particular time period. I still don't really understand.
Yes, but
what?
Yes, but the Clone Wars was the best Star Wars period. So
yes,
you got to thank it for that.
It's a great period, but honestly, it doesn't really add much. Hayden Christensen is painful to watch. He's painful to watch. He's boring. He's annoying. Him trying to seduce Padme is one of the worst things I've ever seen in film. It's up there with Leia using force powers in space. It's
not that bad. at least it's not that bad. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
it's that...
there's the Holocaust, then there's Leia flying through space.
All right,
and you got like a million other things before Anakin seducing Padme.
Yeah, no, it's really, 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 really bad. But it's again, it's not as bad as Solo. But to me, that's just the worst. Well, that's the worst of the number movies, I guess. Then after that, as my number 10, that's where I have The Last Jedi. Now, to me, there's two big crimes that The Last Jedi did. First off, is that it killed the villain for that particular trilogy for no fucking reason. It was like, you're building up this guy, Snoke, he's kind of cool and everything. How about if I just kill him off? And the second thing is that he completely said it was a big fuck you to J.J. Abrams. Like, everything you were building, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's, I'm going to do my own fucking thing. I don't care what you're doing. This is what I want to do. Fuck you. And so, to me, it's like, what the fuck is that? Forget about...
Man.
What?
Did you not learn anything about Game of Thrones Season 8? It's all about subverting expectations for the sake of it.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. One dude was building something, and you could like it or not like it, but it was at least making some kind of sense. And then this guy's like, I'm just going to pretend that none of that happened. All the way down...
You can argue it wasn't very original.
Of course, but it's like, I'm going to change everything all the way down to where the scar on Kylo Ren's face is. For no reason. Dude was wearing a helmet. All right? All throughout the first fucking movie, he wore a helmet. He could have kept wearing a helmet, but fucking no. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make a point, and I'm going to switch where everybody... Like, the scar was on his fucking face, and I'm going to switch it because fuck you, J.J. Abrams. Stupid Brian Johnson. I hated almost everything from that movie. The thing that you said... What?
Spoiler for my... I guess my top half of the thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, middle of the road. Rise of Skywalker's around my middle of the road, just because most of it actually fixes most of the things that Ben Johnson did with Last Jedi. So I have to give it major props for that one.
I'll get into that. We'll get into that eventually. But all right. So Last Jedi. The thing you said about Holdo, it using I'll throw a ship at light speed that makes no fucking sense. At first, it's like, maybe it could be a little bit clever, but then after I talked with Timothy Zahn, who wrote the books Heir to the Empire, so the sequels are Star Wars, he wrote the novels, and he's by a lot considered to be like a Star Wars god. I got to have a conversation with him in Comic-Con. He was like, yeah, what the fuck was that? That made no sense. If that were actually possible or an actual strategy, I would have put it in some of my books, because there's no military strategy here. For some reason, these ships actually have fuel, even though we've never heard of fuel in the Star Wars world. We know there's a power source, but we don't really know what fuel they use. But here, they stole a plot from Battlestar Galactica, which really pissed me off, and it made no sense. It's like, we're just going to keep chasing you slowly because you can't do a jump, but we're not going to send ships... we're not going to make our ships jump forward and then, pin you or something, because that would be too easy. We're just going to give you time to run away and see what the hell happens. It makes no sense. It completely destroyed Luke, even to the point where even Mark Hamill was was brokenhearted with what happened with Luke. They made him drink the weird purple milk, which was... it
was green.
It was green? Oh, the purple one's the one that's... No, what's the blue one's the one that it mentioned in another movie, right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He drank really weird titty milk, and
which was cool.
That was not cool. Like you said, the Rey Kylo Ren stuff was fine. It has its moments, but overall it makes no sense. The whole casino thing. It's like, all right. It's the equivalent of I forget what the hell this dude's name is. What the hell is the ex-stormtrooper's name? John Boyega's character, Finn. All right. Finn? So Finn arrives with Rose to the casino planet, and they leave their ship at the beach. And for that, they get arrested. So they're moving around the casino in the middle of the town, and they find them, and they arrest them for that? It's like that's a ticket on the spaceship, and they should have impounded that. But no, they chased them down. They arrested them. They sent them to jail. And the jail cell where they're dropped is exactly the one guy who could have helped them with the whole fucking problem. Are you kidding me? It's insanely gratuitous. It really pisses me off.
Maybe they parked next to a fire hydrant and they didn't notice.
That's a ticket and an impoundment. They would have just taken the ship. They wouldn't chase you down and arrest you. That's not what cops do. At least not in the real world. But again, this is Star Wars.
Maybe they're closer to like Singapore.
Maybe. All right. You know what? Maybe I didn't consider it was Singapore. But yeah, still, all those things bad. The disrespect to whatever J.J. Abrams was doing was disgustingly bad. And to me, the worst thing is getting rid of Snoke. That it makes no sense. It's like, hey, that's the villain, right? It's a trilogy. We're kind of you kind of build him up because he's super powerful to the point where he actually makes Kylo Ren submit, and then you kill him off with basically bullshit, right? Am I correct there? He was killed off by bullshit.
I'm gonna say the actual way they killed him was not terrible, but I think I was so certain that he was like gonna get up and I don't know, grow some like weird tentacle legs, and he was gonna wield like 10 lightsabers at a time and start flying around beating their asses.
That would have been a better ending. Honestly, that would have been a better ending. But no, that's not what we got. It was just a whole big FU from Rian Johnson, and I hate that guy. And I hope that he doesn't get his own trilogy, because you could very clearly tell that the only thing he cared about was setting up his own trilogy. It's like, all right, I want to do my own thing, and I'm gonna set all these things up and fuck everything, fuck all the other work that J.J. Abrams did. So
JJ killed whatever he did, so fair game.
What goes around comes around. Anyway, so that's my number 10. We're moving on to number 9, and here is where I have the very controversial Phantom Menace. Now, I know there's a lot of hate for the Phantom Menace out there, but
most of it is justified.
Most of it is justified. The pod racing is disgusting. The Jar Jar Binks thing is bad, unless you consider, if you watch the movie thinking that Jar Jar Binks is actually an agent of Sidious, it's actually pretty good.
I don't think it's the fans' responsibility to make the movie interesting by making up their own shit.
I know, but it makes it...
That's what people did with Game of Thrones for the last 4 seasons.
I know, but it makes it easy to watch. And actually, what I like here is that you actually see that Sidious is like a Littlefinger level character. Like, he's that maniacal. The way that he's spinning his web is so intricate. That's actually... Honestly, Sidious might be one of the greatest villains in film, and it's underrated because nobody really understands what he did, and that's the genius of it. He played everybody.
My boy Sheed.
Yeah, he played everybody like a fiddle from the shadows. It's brilliant. So the things that I like, it has a few great moments. First off, great characters. The casting of Ewan McGregor, excellent. Best Obi-Wan out there. Padme, Natalie Portman, of course. Anything that Natalie Portman's in, I'm in. Qui-Gon Jinn, you got my boy Liam Neeson there. He was a little bit underused, but his performance was really good. I like
very
Liam Neeson.
Memorable.
And of course, the introduction of Darth Maul. So, besides the casting, you have probably the greatest lightsaber duel in the whole franchise. I know that's debatable, and we'll debate it afterwards.
Yes,
but definitely. It introduces one of my favorite songs, the Duel of Fates, which is the and that whole sequence is among the best in the entire franchise. The moment where they start playing the Duel of the Fates, where the Darth Maul appears in front of the Jedis and Padme, that is one of my favorite sequences in the entire franchise. It's set up so brilliantly. The fight is like, all right, okay, I got one lightsaber. No, bitch, I got 2, and everybody's pants fucking drop at the exact same second. Like, oh shit! And
this motherfucker wasn't already scary enough.
Yeah, and the Nabooians being like, we'll take the long way around. It's so well made. That fight is like I said, arguably the best one in the whole franchise. So
the only problem with that is, again, the pacing. And while the fight between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon was excellent, it is interspliced. Is that the term?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Between one Anakin fighting in space doing the whole "I'll try spinning. That's a good trick." And Padme sort of like shooting some droids and stuff. So it's kind of like it's cut up a little bit and it hurts the overall pacing of the fight.
I get it, but it's so good that it overcomes it, at least in my perspective. So just for that sequence alone, it's worth watching the movie, and it's better than watching Leia using her force powers in space. All right,
I mean, that's literally the worst thing that ever happened. So it's hard to top it.
It is. It's really hard. All right, so that's my number 9. Then we have Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's the animated movie, which is actually pretty enjoyable. Did you ever watch the movie? I don't mean the series. I mean the movie.
The movie.
Yeah, where they introduce Ahsoka. It's actually pretty enjoyable. It's actually it's fun. It's okay. It's not the best, not the worst. I think the series is a little bit better, and the Cartoon Network animated series is definitely better. But moving on from that, there's not much.
3D one.
Yeah, the 3D animated one.
Yeah.
And from there we got number 7. Ironically, it's Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So, at first, I did not overly hate The Force Awakens.
One of my picks is also ironically the same episode it's on.
All right, well, we'll see where it lands on. But
see it.
So, The Force Awakens, my big deal, my big issue here is what they did with, first off, no originality. It follows pretty much every single beat of the first one, so it didn't take many risks. However, it looks fun. The pacing is still fun. The hero's journey is fun to follow. The big issue here is...
I didn't hate the characters at that point.
Yeah, the characters were interesting. They were new. Kylo Ren was a complex hero that that you're curious about. Rey is like, who this mysterious girl, like where did she get her powers and stuff like that, or what are her powers even? Kylo
is actually fairly threatening while he's still wearing the helmet.
Yeah,
like in the intro where he stops that goddamn laser with his hand is like, god damn.
Yeah, he's a scary dude. It's like, all right, okay, this is a good villain. This is he's trying to a little bit too hard to be a Darth Vader fanboy, but he can back it up. He can throw the punches. My issue...
Hey, man, the entire Star Wars fandom is a bunch of Darth Vader fanboys. They can't say shit.
That is true. But, all right, so my issue here is, first off, what they did to Han Solo. And they made him a loser. So, after reading the books of what the Timothy Zahn wrote, the Heir to the Empire stuff, you see what Han Solo was supposed to become, actually like a competent general, a good father, and all that stuff. Here... Han Solo is pretty much a loser. That he doesn't care about his family. He doesn't care about the war. He doesn't even care about the Millennium Falcon anymore. He's just all around a loser, which is the exact opposite of how we last left. We last left Han Solo, which is a hero actually becoming a competent hero. Like, his hero journey was complete. This is like the point where he's actually becoming a good person, a capable leader. And he was very successful kind of up to that point. And so it was very disappointing. I guess I was so happy to see Han Solo again in something, but it was just extremely disappointing what they did to him. And what really sucked is that you could tell they were just kind of trying to clear off all the old characters to make room for the new ones for no reason, because Poe was never going to be a Han Solo. Rey is never going to be a Luke. And so it was annoying for that. Then the other thing, and this is the argument that you've made for a really long time, and so I'll let you make it. The whole Rey beating Kylo Ren in their first duel.
Yes. So...
What's the wrestling rule? There's a rule in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm actually I want to interject real quick with my 11 pick, because... So my number 11 is Phantom Menace. Okay. And I just want to go real quickly with that one.
Okay.
It's really boring. It's really uninteresting. It's cool characters. It's really not great, but it's all about how you leave them, folks.
Yep.
It's about how you leave them. And every time I finish watching that movie, I leave happy because it ends with the Darth Maul fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, my number 10 is The Force Awakens, because of the exact opposite reason of the Menace. Like the entire movie, I enjoy watching it. Okay, like sure they had the whole Han and Leia relationship ending for no apparent reason.
Nope. And them being terrible parents for no reason.
Yeah, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I enjoyed the characters up to that point. I thought it was going cool places, introducing cool ideas. But at the end, they have Rey, who has... Is that the first time she holds a lightsaber?
No, I think, well, a lit up lightsaber, yes.
Yeah. Up to that point, she has only been fighting with a stick. And
she's good with that stick, though.
She's good with that stick, but a stick is not a sword. Like, at all.
All right.
And so I typically use this rule in terms of what would you say, like building up villains and stuff.
Yeah,
it's my wrestling.
Yeah, it's the wrestling rule. It's not your rule. It's the wrestling rule. Come on.
Well, I mean, I apply it to every aspect of my life.
All right, fine.
You can't have the villain. You cannot have the villain lose the first encounter.
No, because it makes him not scary anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna completely kill off his mystique, even though you have Kylo, who was emotionally distraught about killing his dad.
He was just shot by a Wookiee blaster.
Yeah, he got shot by the thing.
And he got cut in the arm by Finn. So
yeah, this just makes Rey's win is not as impressive because she beat like a weakened villain, and you actually made the villain the underdog.
Yeah.
So you make I'm kind of rooting for Kylo at that point because I'm like, man, he's like fighting an uphill battle. Like the guy just got shot. He's like all fucked up.
They're ganging up on him. Dude just killed his dad, so he's probably a little distracted.
Yeah, what the hell? And that's just that is terrible wrestling psychology. You gotta have the little guy put up a fight, and you gotta have Kylo beat her at the end, but give her a little something. Maybe she could have given him a scar. She could have given him the scar. Or she could have... did she end up giving him the scar?
Yeah, she did.
So.
Actually,
well,
here's something...
That could have been her big thing. Or she could have, like, I don't know, managed to escape in a sort of heroic way. Give her a little something, but make Kylo seem like an absolute killer.
Here's something that you maybe not remember, and let's do it right now. We actually made this fight good. We broke it down how it would have been a good fight, and let's see if you remember what you said, because we added both of us added things. So to me, it would have been good if, all right, so Kylo takes down Finn and Rey's there, and she goes on, she starts really good, right? Kylo's a little bit thrown off, he's a little bit injured, and then there's the point where he kind of like he hits the blaster wound, and he's like, all right, I'm done taking this bitch. I'm done playing around. And that's where he actually takes off the kid gloves and he starts swinging. And at this point, Rey, instead of being in the offense, she's in defense because she doesn't really know what she's doing. And Kylo is actually unleashing a whole bunch of his force power. Like he's going all out rage. The reason for that, and then for Rey, she knows that she can't win this fight because she's clearly outmatched as a swordsman. But she starts using her environment to her advantage, and she starts trying to run away because she figures he can't sustain this. He's injured, and so I kind of have to tire him out. That leads to kind of the point where she manages to get the hit in the face, and she manages to run away. So it's not like a clean defeat. It's more like I got one hit when he was exhausted and almost crashing, and I managed to run away alive. So that was kind of the way it went. Do you remember that?
I think so, yeah.
And
basically taking advantage of the fact that she has been throughout her life, not necessarily a fighter, but a survivor.
Exactly.
Like she knows how to use her environment. She's smart.
And so there you're left with, okay, Kylo Ren, if he turns it on, he really is a force to reckon with, except that he's injured at this point, and so he got gassed out. And Rey, she's clever. She's clever enough to understand her environment and knows how to survive. So you would get, both of them would leave kind of in a stalemate, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you leave the baby face and the heel looking good.
Exactly. Not like how they left them. So
You want to get folks paying for that rematch.
Yeah. So this, in spite of the lack of originality, The Force Awakens was okay if you add the Han Solo insulting thing, and if you add the fact that the heel lost the first fight. That's why it made it drop. It's still not as bad as the other ones, but it made it drop a lot. So
A lot.
yeah. Moving on to number 6. Here is where I put Revenge of the Sith. And Revenge of the Sith, I have a lot of issues with, let's call it the seduction of Anakin. Because we have pretty much the same issue that we had with Holdo in The Last Jedi. Was like, why don't you just tell the guy the fucking plan? Also, if you don't trust Palpatine and if you don't trust Anakin, why do you keep sending them together? It makes no fucking sense. If the Jedi Council would have trusted him just a little bit, none of that would have happened. And also, I kind of understand Palpatine using love to seduce him, even though it's weird because in the end, it's like she lost anyway. So why the hell is Anakin still loyal to Palpatine in the end? I would have liked to actually seen Anakin hunt down some of the Jedis. That would have been awesome instead of just killing off a whole bunch of kids. Now, don't get me wrong, the killing off the kids was okay, but I would have actually respected him more if he would have taken down elite Jedis. Like I know he takes down Mace Windu, but that was a cheap shot. But
I mean, he starts doing that in the post, like pre New Hope kind of.
Yeah, but we don't see it in that movie. So the first half of the movie, pretty weak. Even though I mean, you get to see the Dooku betrayal when he realized that, oh shit, I've been played the whole time. But the dude who's been playing everybody, who could have seen it coming? And
I'm a fool.
And then the second half is actually pretty good. And the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan is on par, at least, with the Darth Vader. Well, I'm sorry, with the Darth Maul fight. However, the thing that actually I like the Darth Maul fight better, but here's where the pacing, where the Obi-Wan Anakin fight actually the pacing is way better. So to me that's the one thing that keeps them on par. If it wasn't for the pacing, Darth Maul fight would be better. But the pacing between Obi-Wan and Anakin is killer. The only issue with it is the ending. It's like it ends in the dumbest way possible. And
dude,
what?
He had the high ground. Don't be stupid.
It makes no sense. He was floating on lava. I'm assuming he could have just floated all the way to the edge. Also, it's very
but you underestimate his power.
Yeah, I guess he overestimated his power. It's just really annoying. Unless you consider the fact that Obi-Wan becomes more powerful in the presence of the high ground. That's the killer. That's the thing that everybody forgets.
I mean, that's how he beat Darth Maul. There was
Darth Maul,
a difference in height.
There was a difference in height. That's how he beat Grievous. He was also dangling and shit, and then he got up, got the blaster. That's apparently that's his.
That's actually one of the worst parts about Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah,
how they kill off Grievous.
It's disgusting. The fight's fun. It's a fun fight. I would have preferred Grievous fighting with his feet, but I guess you can't have everything in life. The fight's actually pretty cool, but it was
disappointing.
It's funny, but disappointing. It's like, that was cool, except it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a funny moment. Like,
at least Grievous is way better in Clone Wars.
Oh, definitely better in Clone Wars. But all right, so that was my number 6. Moving on to the top 5. So number 5, I have Return of the Jedi. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it being number 5?
It's the worst of the original trilogy.
Yep.
Han Solo should have stayed dead or he should have died in Empire Strikes Back.
I disagree there.
Because he's just a whole bunch of nothing in return.
Hey, he chases down the stormtroopers where they're in the moon base. He's like, oh shit, That's his move, man. He scares them off and he chases them down only to find reinforcements and change his mind. That's his thing.
Yeah, but I mean, even Harrison Ford looks like he's not even that into it anymore. You got the whole thing with, what are you called, the little bear guys?
The Ewoks?
What are they called?
Ewoks?
Yeah, the Ewoks. Uh, yeah, they're little Shih Tzu looking bastards. I don't like them.
I see your point, and actually, have you ever seen the breakdown of what the hell was Luke's plan at Jawa's palace? Like,
Oh yeah, that he was gonna give away the droids.
yeah, it makes no sense. Like, his plan is nonsensical, and it's really funny because if you see the Darth Vader, there's a comic book of Darth Vader where he goes to Jawa's palace, and so they try to give him pretty much the same treatment, and what he does is he kills everybody.
Well, that's what Vader does.
Yeah, and so Jawa's like, "All right, I'll listen to you." Luke, it's the same thing. He just took more steps. Same process, just longer steps. But
then the Boba Fett thing was pretty lame.
Oh yeah, that was brutal. They just completely threw him in the trash. Well,
that's the thing. Return of the Jedi has a bunch of cool stuff in it. It has the speeder scene with the bikes. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Everything with Luke, Vader, and Palpatine in the throne room. That's awesome.
Yep, of course.
Everything in there,
mm-hmm.
And you have Leia in a gold bikini.
Of course, that's definitely noteworthy.
So it's a lot of strong individual moments, but it's overall a less cohesive story. It's the least fun of the trilogy.
Yes,
in the original trilogy,
by far,
especially coming after Empire.
Yeah. However, satisfactory ending. The ending was.
It's about how you leave them, folks.
Exactly. You end up happy. Luke, his ending's kind of sad. It's like, yeah, I saved I killed the Emperor, but I lost my dad, but I saved his soul.
Yeah, you can see Hayden Christensen as a ghost.
Exactly. Oh man, fuck that guy. But yeah,
it's a little weird.
So it's okay. Overall, I think it's the best ending out of all the trilogies.
If you go for a happy ending, sure.
Well, it's bittersweet because Luke has always been a tragic character.
But it was a happy ending.
For Luke, yeah. I mean, he just got his dad killed.
I think the actual ending of Revenge of the Sith is on par, but in the opposite end. Like, where it's just you leave that movie just feeling like, oh man,
bitter.
That was rough.
Yeah, that is true.
In a good way.
Honestly, that pisses me off about Hayden Christensen's performance even more. It's like, first, okay, the dude got really bad lines, but he just completely killed those really bad lines. It was.
I mean, he got really bad lines, and he probably got really bad directing because Natalie Portman's a good actress, and she did not knock it out of the park either.
Yeah, but my boy Ewan McGregor did, so no excuses here.
Ewan McGregor is literally Jesus Christ reborn.
No excuses here. We're not forgiving anybody. But
honestly, what's the name of the original Obi-Wan?
I forget.
Alec
Guinness. Yeah.
Yeah, he can suck it in comparison to Mr. Ewan McGregor.
Of course, to me, like there's good Obi-Wan and the old guy. Anyway.
Yeah, the guy who didn't even like Star Wars.
Exactly. So the thing also is the issue is that you don't really care about Anakin that much. You care about Obi-Wan. You care about Padme, but Anakin is like, fuck that guy. He thought he could jump higher than he could. Fuck that guy.
Okay, honestly,
it's not really the fallen hero story. It's not the hero that falls from grace.
I'll get a little bit more deeper into this when I speak about Revenge. But I recently rewatched it like a couple of months ago. Anakin is way more relatable and likable in Revenge when you compare him to Attack of the Clones.
Well, explain.
His entire conflict with the Jedi Council, the fact that, I mean, I saw this after watching the Clone Wars, so you already see all the problems that he has with characters like Mace Windu.
What they did to Ahsoka and all that stuff.
Yeah, all of his problems with even Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Like they both respect each other, but they just can't reconcile their points of view. And the whole thing with Padme being pregnant and what are they supposed to do about it? That's actually a very well handled scene. Like, it's probably the strongest scene that those two have together, because
it's an interesting conflict, but it wasn't...
and they handle it well because they're both like, shit, I don't know what we can do.
No, they're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
But again, interesting conflict. It's just overall you don't really care that much about Anakin. At least I didn't really care about Anakin.
I cared more about him at that point. Maybe it's just because I had been. Look, the prequels came out when I was a kid, so I guess I might have that little extra bit of nostalgia for it, like most people have, with the original trilogy. Like they saw it as kids, and now they're adults, and now they think it's the best thing ever. When in reality, it's good.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
but it's not what I would call a masterpiece.
Well, it depends. All right, let's move on here. We got number 4. Unless you got something else you want to say about Revenge.
I'll get to that later.
But I already went. Revenge was number 6. Right now we're number 5. Return of the Jedi.
Well, I want to go with my ranking real quick after you go with yours.
All right, fine. Number 4.
We didn't really organize this in the best way possible. Okay.
No, we did not. No. Number 4, I have. Oh, so let me just recap up to this point. So I had number 12, all the way at the bottom, the worst one, Solo, then Attack of the Clones, then Last Jedi, then Phantom Menace, then Star Wars Clone Wars, the 3D animated movie, then The Force Awakens, then Revenge of the Sith, and number 5, we got Return of the Jedi. So we're top 4 now. So number 4, I have Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And for pretty much the reason you just mentioned before, it's the fact that J.J. Abrams was able to save the trilogy from the piece of shit that Bryan Johnson gave him. The freaking mental gymnastics that man did for that movie, holy fucking shit. It's beyond impressive how he actually made something respectable after the steaming pile of crap that Bryan Johnson handed him. It's extremely impressive just for that alone. Just for that alone, it's a movie that it earns my respect. And the fact that he had to cram in pretty much 2 movies worth of stuff into one, it makes for horrible pacing. But you can kind of see what he was trying to do all along, which makes
he was trying to fix something while trying to create something new.
Exactly. It's like he was trying to, I don't know, perform heart surgery on a mom while delivering the baby at the same time. It's very difficult.
Rough going.
Exactly. So it has its rough moments. The whole thing about keeping the ships in orbit without the shields makes no fucking sense to me. It's like, hey, you know what you've just established? That these things burn fuel. You know where they weren't burn fuel? Out of Atmo. And you know what they also would get outside of Atmo? Blaster shields. So why the fuck are you keeping them in Atmo unless you just want to keep them so they're easily killed? It makes no fucking sense.
There's no such thing as military strategy in Star Wars, and I've learned to just let it go.
It drives me nuts. It's like, the moment that they said that, it's like, all right, they just left him there so that they could wrap this up nice and neat at the end very quickly. And I also kind of didn't like the fact that they did the whole endgame thing of everybody shows up at the end. It's like, really, we kind of already went through this in the last movie, in The Last Jedi, where nobody showed up. So why are they showing up now? Kind of.
I guess you could make it be like some sort of it's kind of a payoff to that whole thing. Like, oh, they didn't show up, and then this bad stuff happened. But this time, everybody like learned their lesson or something.
But here's the thing: you need to give them a reason to show up. Sounds like the only reason why they showed up is because this time they sent Lando. So, I get it. Dude's a charming dude.
Lando's awesome.
He can charm the pants off of anybody, but that's a lot of anybody's and that's a lot of pants he had to charm off of.
Somebody can do it as Lando Calrissian.
So, to me, it's like, all right, you got to give him a reason. But again, the movie is extremely long, and I get why they had to jump a lot of stuff and force and shoehorn a lot of stuff in. But the overall result, actually, I was kind of satisfied. The whole, I was in to the whole Rey-Kylo relationship all the way to the bitter end. The Rey-Kylo
relationship was the best part of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, by far. Those two are the only really interesting characters of the new ones. I respected the way that they brought Palpatine back, and the way that it was like, oh yeah, Snoke was a bad Palpatine clone. Is like, all right, I could see it. Palpatine is a sneaky motherfucker. The dude had a backup Death Star for his Death Star, and nobody knew about it. So it's like, all right, he seems like the kind of dude who would actually kind of prepare to clone himself in case he dies. So
and it actually fits in with the extended universe because Palpatine also comes back in those.
Yeah, and there's also clones in the Star Wars universe. So it was okay overall.
It wasn't well explained. You had to infer it a lot.
Exactly. But for what JJ had to do, it's like, all right, I respect it enough to be in the top 5. Cause and again, it's all about how you leave them. It left me with actually a good taste in my mouth. From such a terrible fucking such a terrible fucking trilogy, this one actually is like, all right, you know what? The taste in my mouth's not that bad. They kind of redeemed Han Solo in a way. They kind of redeemed Kylo. They definitely redeemed Luke. And so it's like, all right, it's okay.
But the very last scene, like you actually left happy after the Rey Skywalker thing.
Yeah. It was fine. Honestly, you know my take on that one. To me, the better ending would have been if Rey would have ended up pregnant, because Kylo fixes her with the Force, fixes her stomach on the Force. So if she would have ended up pregnant there, because as we know, Anakin Skywalker is a child of the Force, so we know that the Force can actually get chicks pregnant. If it would have ended that way,
actually, Force pregnancy works more in continuity than Force healing.
Exactly. So to me, that would have actually made it an even better. And they don't even have to say it. Like if Rey would have said just now, Rey Skywalker, and then puts her hand on her belly, it could have been that she's remembering the healing. It could have been just that she's pregnant or something. To me, that would have made it better. But
yeah, leave us guessing.
Exactly, guessing. It's all about how you leave them, folks. So overall, good taste in my mouth. It definitely. The most impressive thing is that it washed off the taste I had in my mouth from Last Jedi. That was the most impressive thing. There's a bunch of plot holes. There's a bunch of errors in the movie, but still left me with a good taste in my mouth after eating one of the grossest pieces of shit I've ever eaten in my life.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right. Then we're moving on to the top 3. Top 3. Here we have the OG, number 4, A New Hope. So this is the one that started it all. Honestly, the big flaw here, the big flaw with A New Hope is that lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Worst lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, that movie did not age well at all, especially compared to other sci-fi movies that came out. Well, Star Wars is fantasy, but sci-fi movies that came out during the time, like look at Alien.
Sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, Alien aged very well. Star Wars did not. But the characters are so likable. The hero's journey, it's beat for beat. It's interesting. You care about the plot. It introduces one of the greatest villains of all time. So it's very important historically, and that's why I leave it number 3. But it's nowhere near being the best one. It's honestly, it's more its historical value why it's there than anything else.
I guess it's pretty near being the top 1 because you have in your top 3.
Yeah, it's top 3. It's worthy of being top 3 for many reasons, but it's not the best one just because of that.
Yeah, it did age. My main problem with this is it's really slow.
Yeah, but it handles things pretty interestingly, and it did something that I really like. First off, it introduces the villains, right? The first 20 minutes of the movie, it's Darth Vader, Leia, and then C-3PO and R2-D2. You don't see Luke until like 30 minutes in. You don't see Han until like 50 minutes in. So it's like it's introducing the threat. It's explaining how kind of the universe works, and then you get the hero, and you're like, this kid's gonna face off against Darth Vader? I don't think so. So it's the pacing, it kind of needs to be that way. I would have cut down a whole bunch of stuff with 3PO and R2-D2 just because 3PO annoys me. But once it gets going, it really, really gets going. So yeah, it's a slow setup.
In terms of being a classic, and it's very iconic. It sets up the entire universe. There's actually like some cool lore stuff in there, like when Obi-Wan tells Luke about the Jedi Order and who disappeared long time ago, which was about 20 years ago. And they vanished from memory.
Everybody forgot about that war. It never happened. And also one thing that I really like is that movie doesn't really pull its punches as much as all the other ones, because you get the death of Uncle Owen and what's Aunt May? No, it's not Aunt May. What Uncle Owen and Baru, and then you got the death of Obi-Wan. So it's like, all right, this is a franchise that kills off its characters up to that point, and then it really doesn't kill off its main characters. But
it also introduces the typical Star Wars bad dialogue, like what was it? Oh, but I was gonna go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah, it's
the only good thing about that line is the remix that they made with the song.
Can you do it? Can you sing it?
And I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
All right. So moving on from that one, that's number 3. Number 2, I'm going off the beaten path here. We're going to the solo story, a solo story, but not solo. Rogue One. I loved Rogue One so much. First off, I gotta say, I gotta start off with the best thing from this movie. The final sequence with Darth Vader may be the best sequence in the whole franchise. Overall, it actually shows you how terrifying Vader is, and it's actually that scene is straight out of a horror movie. You're tense. You already know what happens, but you're tense the whole way through. It's terrifying. I love that sequence. That again, it's all about how you leave them, folks, and that thing leaves you pumped. Agree or disagree?
And it bleeds into New Hope very well.
Seamlessly. It's almost seamless. I've seen an edit where one goes into the other. It's practically seamless. It's great. And so just for that alone, it's great. But one thing that I just mentioned in all the other ones, Star Wars doesn't really kill off its characters, or at least not the main characters.
Not this one, baby.
It kills stuff I expected at least one of them to survive, and it's like, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I expected Jyn Erso, that's the main girl. I expected her to be, maybe that's going to be Rey's mom. Maybe she kind of escapes and then she helps Luke or something. I don't know.
I'm really happy she wasn't.
Yes, no, her story was great. I only have really one issue with Rogue One. But the best thing about Rogue One is that it doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. It feels like closer to a sci-fi space war movie.
To me, the thing that I credit it the most is that it is the first movie to me that actually feels like a Star War.
Yes, definitely. It's a war movie, and they actually take cover when they're shooting. That's the one movie where they actually use some kind of strategies. Like, hey, I got a sniper covering you out here in the distance. You go in a little bit closer. Stuff like, I'm watching your back. Let's set up bombs here. Let's try to set up a trap. It's.
I mean, you also have the scene of the guy walking, saying, "I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me." And he's just kind of walking in the middle of the battlefield, but can't win them all.
Hey, it looked really cool. Okay, looked really cool.
I'm willing to forgive stupid things with characters that I like, and I like that character.
Exactly, he was fun. And so there's only really one knock that I put on that movie, and that's that Jyn Erso, for no apparent reason, decides to help the rebellion. And she
decides to not be very interesting after she joins the rebellion.
Exactly. And it's like, all right, okay, I don't care about any of you guys or anything that you're doing. I'm going to go save my dad. And then her dad dies. And for no reason, it's like, all right, let's go do this. I'm very passionate about going and doing this, even though it might cost my life. It's like, but why? What changed? Literally, what changed? You just gave a speech to Cassian. That you just gave a speech to Cassian as to why this doesn't matter, and the very next scene, you're giving a speech about why this matters. That's the only knock I put on the movie. Everything else, it's great. It's great. I love that movie, beginning to end. It's a solid number 2, and it's actually, if it wasn't for several reasons, it would actually almost rival number 1. So,
which of course the number 1 is
the best, one of the greatest movies of all time, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this movie is filmmaking genius, and it's the perfect middle movie. And you know how they say the sequel can't beat the original? Yes, it can, if done properly. And
Terminator 2?
Well, usually. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, all right? There's exceptions to every rule.
There's situations where, like, the first one and the second one are both excellent, but for different reasons, like Alien and Aliens.
Exactly, yes.
And then there's Terminator and Terminator 2, which Terminator 2 is just better.
Of course. Well, I mean, Terminator 1 introduces a very great concept. It's not that great the execution. Terminator 2 builds on that, and the execution is fantastic. So also they had better effects, better budget by that point. Anyway, let's not get into that one right now. Empire Strikes Back. The thing that makes this movie great is that there's several storylines. There's the Luke storyline, and then there's the Han Leia storyline. The Han Leia storyline, they make the best decisions that they can, actually good decisions, competent decisions, every single step of the way, and they still get outplayed by the villains, who are also making great decisions. This takes me back to the Picard line of you can make absolutely the right choice every single time. You could be perfect, and you could still lose. That's what makes it great. It's a chess game between the two of them, and you didn't account for the Boba Fett outplaying you, because it's like Han outplays the Empire, and then the Empire hires Boba Fett. Boba Fett outplays them, and then you got the Empire outplaying Lando, and Lando outplays Han, and then Lando outplays the Empire. It's a whole clusterfuck of great decisions from everybody, and everything keeps getting fucked up, but it's because the characters are making the best decisions possible. Nobody really makes a mistake there, except for you can't,
arguably Luke, but even then, it was
necessary.
Do it or die. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, okay, my friend is dying. But again, that was Darth Vader making. His plan was good. Like, his plan was to lure Luke, and he used the best plan possible. It's a whole bunch of characters making good decisions against each other, screwing each other over, and it's great. That's how filmmaking should be. And since it's a middle movie, the villains, you have to really build them up. It has to leave the heroes really screwed over. And again, we're going back to the whole saying, it's all about how you leave them. And there you're definitely left being, first off, with a mindfuck of, what the hell? That dude's father? And
probably one of the most iconic plot twists
of all time. So big that not even the cast there knew it. Like, nobody really knew what that line was except Luke Skywalker and James Earl Jones. And
dude, nobody can even quote it well.
Exactly. Like, no, I am your father. See that? I got it right.
It's impossible.
No. And
Ashley Station.
And so that, plus the whole Han Solo thing is like, what happened? What's going to happen to Han and all that stuff? So it introduces Yoda, one of the most interesting characters, one of the most iconic characters, again, in film history. The Battle of Hoth is up there on one of the greatest opening sequences of all. Well, it's not an opening sequence, but one of the best battles, sci-fi battles out there. One of the most interesting ones. It's a great opening for a film. Honestly, overall, there's really not much that I would change from that movie. You got that really weird love triangle. Is that the thing that's gonna break the friends up? What the hell is going on? You got great lines from Han Solo, scruffy looking. You got Han Solo giving the greatest answer to an "I love you" of all time. I love you. I know. It's honestly, it's just greatness all around.
Honestly, the best scene that Han Solo is in that movie is when he walks into, what was the Lando's planet?
Oh yeah. Oh wow. It's Cloud City, but I forget the exact name. But yeah,
when I know Cloud City, and he walks into the little dinner plate area.
Yeah.
And Darth Vader's there, and he just, like, straight up, he doesn't say anything. He just pulls out his blaster and starts shooting.
Boom, boom. Yo, dude, I've said that many times. Like, what if it was a prank?
Well, you don't prank me that way.
What if Lando told one of his dudes, like, hey, let's scare these guys. It's gonna be funny. He opens the door like, ha, boom, boom. Like, no, what? No, huh? No looking back. He just shoots. That's what makes Han Solo the man. Han Solo is the best in that movie, and so, to me, that's why it's number one. It's honestly, it shouldn't even be a competition. But let's hear yours really quick. So, let me go through mine really quick again, just so in case nobody remembers. Number 12, the worst one. We're going worst to best. We got Solo, then Attack of the Clones, then The Last Jedi, then Phantom Menace, then Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the 3D animated film, then The Force Awakens, then Revenge of the Sith, then Return of the Jedi, then The Rise of Skywalker. Followed, and the top three are A New Hope, Rogue One, and Empire Strikes Back. Done.
Fair enough.
All right.
And I've already spoken about a few of them, so I won't make it that long.
All right, so just tell me where you disagree. Any major disagreements there?
There is one major one. I'll get to it. Number 12 for me was Last Jedi. 11 was Phantom Menace. I only give it. I like those two are very close together, but it's about how you leave them. You know?
Yep, I get that.
Yeah. Force Awakens. I guess I kind of break that rule after that one because it left me a little upset. But overall, the movie I did enjoy it. After that one, I have Solo simply because I haven't seen it.
God damn it!
And I literally have in my notes. I haven't seen it, but it can't be worse than the last three.
Did I not make you want to see it? Did I not? Just just curiosity to see how bad it is.
I don't really do that.
God damn it! All right.
It's like, all right, so this movie's terrible. I guess I won't watch it.
All right, that's fair.
Apparently, that's unreasonable.
It is.
After Solo at number 8, I have Attack of the Clones. I agree. Count Dooku is awesome. Padme in that white outfit, though.
Yes, definitely. That's worth money.
A very important one is we actually see Yoda fight for the first time, which is hype.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
He looks goofy as all hell.
That's the problem.
It's Yoda fighting. It's awesome. And I actually enjoyed the Obi-Wan noir detective story that they got going on. Like, it's
at the beginning.
It's not perfect. Yeah, when he's investigating the whole thing,
the murder, the assassination attempt.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's fun, and it's Obi-Wan, who's my favorite Star Wars character.
Exactly.
So I could just watch an entire movie about him.
We're gonna get a series soon,
hopefully. After that, I have number 7, Rise of Skywalker. It's a very good movie. It has very interesting ideas. It does fix most of the problems with Last Jedi, which was the biggest thing that ranked it so high. I hated the Force healing thing because it doesn't work in continuity at all.
Nope.
Unless it's just an entirely new power that the Force all of a sudden has, which I'm sure they're gonna make like 15 book series that explains that whole thing.
To be fair, they introduced it in the previous episode of The Mandalorian. So to be fair, it was introduced before the movie was released, but it's still BS. I agree.
Fair. Yeah. But even then, like, only Baby Yoda had used it, I think.
Yeah. And you know what's my metaphor for the Rise of Skywalker? It's like, imagine a dude who's like the for J.J. Abrams, imagine like that whole trilogy. Imagine a dude who's trying to run a marathon and he's doing his thing, and then another guy shows up and like shoots him right in the knee, and the original guy manages to finish the race and beat the guy who shot him in the leg. So to me, that's the metaphor of that trilogy to a T.
To me, it's more like, imagine if I started like I don't know, trying to paint the Mona Lisa. And, I did everything I could. And then, I got 2/3 of the way done. And then you bring in Da Vinci. And he has to fix whatever I did and try to make it look good by the end.
Okay.
So it's not going to look that as good as if he had just done it himself.
Of course.
But he is going to fix the mess that I made.
Oh, definitely. I guess. Yeah.
However, I think it's the best out of new sequels, but that's not very high praise because all 3 of them are in the bottom half.
I can see that, yeah.
And it's mostly due to the fact that it's just very unfocused, the whole trilogy. I mean, obviously you had 2 different directors fighting over ideas, and you had the studio bringing in their bullshit.
Oh, there's a lot of bullshit in that trilogy. A lot.
Yeah, so
it's like, hey, you know what? How about instead of putting in your bullshit, you focus on good storytelling? How about that? How about, is that too crazy? Is that too wild? I don't think it is.
It is too wild, apparently. But overall, I did enjoy the movie a lot, and I guess I just went in there thinking, I'm just gonna see typical Star Wars bullshit. So my expectations were really low.
Yeah.
Like my expectations were actually fairly high for Last Jedi. I was
Yes.
like, ooh, we're gonna see Luke again. We're gonna see like maybe these little things that were introduced in Force Awakens that maybe were not that original. Maybe they were gonna expand upon them.
Dude, I expected that to be the best movie of the franchise, but by a lot. And then I was extremely disappointed. You know what the issue was? We didn't really get Star Wars bullshit. We just got regular bullshit. We just got bad movie bullshit, which makes no sense. It's like I would have walked away.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah, I would have walked away happy with Star Wars bullshit. This was nothing. This made no fucking sense in any way whatsoever. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So Rise of Skywalker. My main problem is that it doesn't really have a really great final battle.
Yeah.
Like the fight with Palpatine is just lame. Like them. He starts shooting with laser, and then she's like starts fighting back, and she does the typical hero thing of I'm losing. I am not losing anymore.
That is kind of my issue with Return of the Jedi. That Palpatine only uses like the Force lightning. It's like, come on, like give us an actual fight. But fortunately,
I could see why they couldn't do that back then.
I can see that. And you also got the lightsaber duel with Vader before that. And you didn't get the whole bullshit of Luke being like, I'm not losing anymore. It was actually Darth Vader like, motherfucker, die. So,
dude, having Luke. Well, I'm getting to Return of the Jedi now. But overall, as Rise of Skywalker, it needed like a good final battle. But overall, I did enjoy it fine.
So that's number 7, right?
Yes. Now number 6, which serendipitously has fallen according to its original episode, is Return of the Jedi.
All right. Why?
And like I said, everything with Luke, Vader, and Palpatine in the throne room is awesome. Leia in a gold bikini.
Priceless.
I mean, that just created an entire generation of cosplayers.
Actually, yeah, I think, yeah, that's Star
Wars. That might
Wars
be the original nerd cosplay.
Yeah, that's Star Wars gift to humanity.
Yes, that and Padme in white,
of course.
It's
Geonosis. Oh my fucking god. Whew, that's the planet. That's the planet where she's wearing the white suit. Whew, that had been bugging me this entire fucking conversation. Anyway,
that's actually a pretty cool scene when they're in that fight pit.
Yeah, I mean it's a very dumb way to get rid of the people who's annoying you. I'm more of a just shoot him right here, right now. But you know what?
You can appreciate the showmanship.
Exactly. Anyway,
like what were they gonna do? What were they gonna do? Also, Padme getting scratched in the back.
Sexy.
It's brutal.
It's sexy. It's brutal. It's brutally sexy.
Yes, but it's it brought up a few S&M feelings.
That's when I discovered that I was a man.
Yes, when I was like 5 when I watched it.
I was 12, so it makes sense.
I was like, I don't know what this is, but I like it.
I like it a lot. Anyway,
continue. So anyway, Return of the Jedi. I think I just like it better than Rise of Skywalker because of that last throne room scene. Because the rest of the movie, I honestly don't even remember much of it.
Oh, you know what? From Rise of Skywalker, you know what I really liked? That Kylo actually beat Rey clean. That's where you get Kylo showing that he's actually a superior swordsman, which is again... Yeah. It is again J.J. Abrams fixing what he did in the first one. So he fixed a lot. He fixed what he did with Han. He fixed what he did with that fight too. So it's like, all right, at least he learned his lesson.
Well, the problem is that they booked that backwards.
I know.
The villain is not supposed to win at the final fight.
I know,
God damn it.
But still, it's like better late than never. You know what I'm saying?
It was better, and honestly, Kylo was my favorite character, so I didn't mind.
He was the most interesting character of the new trilogy, which is weird because dude's a total puss and total dick. Well, actually, he's just a big crybaby, but he's still super interesting.
He's what Anakin should have been.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that's exactly how Anakin should. And you know what? They should just remake the original trilogy with Adam Driver. It would make so much more sense.
but keep Ewan McGregor.
Of course, definitely keep. That's the most stupid thing you've ever said. Of course, you're keeping Ewan McGregor. In fact, keep Natalie Portman in there too. I don't give a fuck.
Who are you gonna have as Kid Anakin?
Oh, it's still gonna be Adam Driver. Because honestly, the big
CGI him.
Yeah, the big flaw, honestly, with Phantom Menace is making Anakin like a toddler. That made no sense, and it made the whole thing with Padme creepy. If they would have made him just like an angsty teenager, it would have made way more sense. And it would have made more sense with Yoda being like, he's too old. It's like, dude, he's like 5. What do you mean he's too old? Come on. Yeah. What do you want him? What do you want, a fucking embryo?
Wasn't Padme just like, I don't know, like 4 years older than him or something though?
It's still weird.
It's a little weird, but it's not like they do anything overtly creepy in that movie. Like they only start getting into each other like years later in Attack of the Clones.
Here's the thing: it's not just that she's a little bit older; it's the fact that she's a fucking queen and political leader. So she's actually a fucking grown up with a grown up job.
She's a teenager.
But still, it's like she has to make grown up decisions.
Sure, but I mean,
which is
kids still do. Kids are still kids,
I guess. But let's just say it was a bit bizarre. It was untraditional, but whatever. Dude was born without any sperm, so I guess we can't really judge.
I mean, fair enough. And well, I guess back to Return of the Jedi, I suppose.
Yeah.
My favorite part about the Luke Vader fight is that it's an actual clean fight that Luke wins.
Yeah.
And he wins it in the most awesome way. Like he basically throws out any type of like finesse and skill, and he just starts beating down on Vader like die. And Vader's like
like I'm too old for this shit.
Like, oh shit.
Which, by the way, he should have been like 40.
Yeah, but he's like all burnt up and shit.
That is true. He does not have half his body.
Yeah.
So I get that. But yeah, it is a clean match. And honestly, it reminds me kind of what it's Obi-Wan style fighting. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do clean finesse, and then at the end I'm gonna get mad, and that's how I win. Even though Jedi are not supposed to get mad,
they don't see it coming.
They never see it coming. All right, so move on. Number 5.
Number 5 is A New Hope.
A New Hope. All right. It's a little low, but okay. Elaborate.
I would have ranked it higher if I hadn't seen it fairly recently.
It doesn't age well. It doesn't age well.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And well, I guess a little bit.
Well,
the iconic stuff is still iconic. The characters are still likable.
Yeah, I need to clarify that. The characters aged well, the story aged well, the effects don't age well. And that fight between Vader and Obi-Wan, it did not age well at all.
It did not age well, but it told the right story.
True, I guess.
Where Vader won, and it shows us how much of a threat he is.
Yeah, I guess.
That's how you set him up. And then later in Empire, you actually get to see him fight off against the actual hero, who's Luke, and
whoop him. Whoop him.
Absolutely whoop him.
Clean.
So, I'm not going to say too much on New Hope. It's very iconic. It created the lore and the universe, and very important movie. I never really cared about space battles in Star Wars. I'm going to be honest. They just always look kind of like a clusterfuck. I can hardly follow the action because the ships look the same.
But it was a great shot, kid. 1 in a million.
It was 1 in a million.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole scene where they're, in that little
Actually, I'll give you this. That space battle, the one with the Death Star, that one aged pretty decently.
Yeah, I'll give credit that it's probably my favorite space battle in all of Star Wars.
Yeah,
but because I just don't like space battles.
The one in Rise of Skywalker where they're riding horses on top of a ship, that one just made no fucking sense.
Yeah, I won't get into that one.
Yeah. You know what space battle I actually enjoyed? The beginning
of Revenge of the Sith. Revenge.
Yes.
That's actually pretty cool, and it's not that long, and you get really good lines like, "This is where the fun begins," and I hate it when he does that.
Yes. So That I think that might be my favorite space battle, but second would be the one in New Hope.
I think I'm gonna give it to the New Hope just because
it's the first one.
It's the iconic one. It's the iconic one.
All right, fine. I'll give it to you.
And you sort of had Luke besting Vader in a way.
It wasn't Luke. No, it was Han.
It was Han, but Luke kind of survived Vader in that scene. You know, like
The
Vader
Force
kind
is
of
strong in this one.
whooped everybody else.
Yeah, it's I get that. There's a sense of impending doom, the dread. Like the tension's really high. You're really anxious, really nervous, and then out of fucking nowhere, my boy Han Solo, yahoo, shows up and saves the day. Because that's what Han Solo does. What you least expect.
and it was not like a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing where it came out of nowhere. You could believe Han Solo doing something like that.
Yeah, being sneaky.
And
which is what he does. He smuggled himself in the middle of the battle and saved Luke. That's exactly what you expect Han Solo to do.
Yeah, and that's what we said they should have done with Force Awakens. You know, Luke survives Vader. He doesn't beat him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Rey should have. Rey should have survived Kylo, not beat him.
Exactly. But
that was the big flaw.
Too late. Too little. Yeah. Too late. Anyway, continue.
Continuing on from New Hope, number 4, I have Rogue One.
What? Number 4?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Please elaborate.
Okay. Just to clarify, everything after Rise of Skywalker, I would classify as good to really good.
Good to great?
I'm gonna say good to great. Yeah.
All right.
So everything like Return forward, I would be like anything up here is like good films.
Okay.
So Rogue One, I like that it's an actual war story and it feels totally different to other Star Wars movies.
It actually has stakes.
Yes, it has
consequences.
It has consequences. That's the big thing. It's like, oh, we're going into a suicide mission. It's a suicide mission. Holy shit, it was a suicide mission.
Literally. Wow. Okay.
And
you thought that they might have, it looked like, oh, maybe they're going to win or something. Nope.
Nope. And
not even a little bit.
You know what's interesting is that, okay, so first off, that entire movie was to fix a little plot hole in New Hope.
That's genius, by the way. That was genius. Yeah. It's like everybody's been complaining for years about this plot hole. Let's make a whole movie let's make the best movie just to fuck that argument up.
Yeah. And one thing that it just feels a little, what would you say, makes it extra tragic is that all of these characters went through all this shit. They had the big battles and they had to fight the Empire and they went to the suicide mission and whatnot. All of it for a USB.
Yeah. And you know what?
A tiny little thing with a little bit of information that ended up saving the whole thing. But all these people died for the equivalent of a flash drive.
But you know what makes it even more tragic? That all these dudes that gave up their lives and they're never mentioned ever again. So it's like they made the greatest of heroic sacrifices and they're probably the reason why they won and they're never mentioned again. That's even more tragic. So which makes me love it even more.
Yeah, because they were like a ragtag team of guys. Like they were not even like an official squad or whatever.
Yeah. And so to me, that makes it even better. Like I love tragedies in general, and that adds to that tragedy.
Yes. And overall, the only thing that kind of brings it down a little bit for me is that I didn't really care for Jyn Erso. She was kind of bland. She was hot. But she was just kind of bland. Like there wasn't a lot to her, especially after she joined the rebellion.
Well, she was just really angry, and she was basically imprisoned. It's like, screw you guys. Why the hell am I going to help you? You're trying to force me. You're trying to use my connection with my dad, who I also kind of hate. And so she was just a very angry girl.
But then you have Forrest Whitaker. Was it Forrest Whitaker?
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, and you have him saying like, "Believe in the dream." And apparently that changes her whole thing. And if Forrest Whitaker tells me that, I guess that
it was meeting with her dad again, I guess, which changed everything. But I
choose to believe it was believe in the dream.
It's really weird. She had no purpose before, and then she actually kind of found her purpose in a way, even though it was very short lived.
Yeah, and that movie also has the best droid companion out of all the Star Wars.
Definitely. Voiced by my boy Walsh from Firefly. What's his name? Alan. This is gonna bug me. What's his name? Alan Tudyk. I was close. Anyway, yeah, that I agree. The most likable droid in all of Star Wars.
Yes. Is he the one who says, "We are rescuing you. Please do not resist"?
Yes, that's that. That is his line.
That is awesome. That is just awesome.
All right, continue.
All right, now I'm gonna go with the most controversial pick.
I'm very, very concerned here.
At number 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Elaborate, please.
Okay. It has maybe the strongest story out of all the films.
What? Okay. What?
I'm not saying they told it perfectly. But it's kind of like I'm not saying it went off without a hitch, okay?
You're a fucking moron.
Stop laughing. I'm not saying it didn't go without some casualties.
It's the best meal. I'm not saying they cooked it right, okay?
They had, I mean, this is not worse. It's not a bad point, you know.
All right, please elaborate. Why is it the best story?
I think if you look at it from just what happened in the movie.
By the way, there's a noise back there that's really annoying.
Hang on.
What is it?
Apaga eso, por favor.
Is he? What? TV?
They're just making noise.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, continue.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
You're saying it's the best story, but it's not the best told.
Actual events that happened, and if you were to tell somebody what happened in the movie, like if you were to just describe them, like, oh, I didn't see the movie. What happened? Oh, well, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and that happened. It would be probably the coolest out of all the Star Wars, because it's like, oh, well, you have Anakin finally turning to the dark side after he's wanting to save Padme, and you have all these cool fights, and you have Palpatine finally taking control of the Senate, and the Jedi, Order 66 happens where the Jedi die, and all this stuff. So in a vacuum, it's probably the most exciting story. Empire is the best told story, but not necessarily like the most exciting one.
Okay.
And Revenge of the Sith had the most emotionally engaging fights. This is my main point, because you have the fights are pretty logical for the most part. I mean, high ground, not
uh-huh.
And I was saying, I told you it was a bumpy road.
Yeah,
but okay, you have
Mace
at the beginning
Windu versus
okay. at the very beginning you have
Anakin
Count
Dooku.
Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
It's Anakin and Dooku's. It's pretty much Anakin versus Dooku. Obi-Wan is there,
Mm-hmm.
but in canon, we know that Obi-Wan is simply no match for Dooku, simply because of their fighting styles.
Yes.
But Anakin's fighting style to that point he had become so strong individually, he was able to overpower Dooku by going a little bit dark side. After that, what other fight?
Well, you got Obi-Wan Grievous.
You got Obi-Wan Grievous, which, okay, I don't love how it ends with the whole shooting him, but it is kind of a pre-established that you kind of have to be attuned with the Force in order to be like able to, deflect blasters.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole they put the blindfold things on, and the Jedi sort of train without their eyes to deflect the blasts.
So it's bad, but it's not egregious.
No, it works. Like if they had done that to, I don't know, Count Dooku, it would have been absolute bullshit.
Yeah, but it's actually and the reaction from Obi-Wan afterwards is actually pretty funny. Like, ugh.
And he starts with saying hello there, which is great. It's probably one of the most quotable movies too.
I'll give you that. Yeah, sure. Then what other matchup you got? You got Mace Windu, Palpatine.
You got Mace Windu, Palpatine, and Mace Windu wins.
Of course, because he has to.
Yes, and we know Palpatine is like this major badass. He's like the main antagonist of the fucking franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's logical that Mace Windu could defeat him because Mace Windu, within canon, he's a Sith hunter.
Yeah,
like
his whole thing is that his whole style is designed to defeat Sith.
Yes, and the stronger the Sith he's fighting, the stronger he becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the perfect matchup for him. So it makes sense that Palpatine can't best him, even though he's an amazing fighter.
Yes.
Again, it doesn't look great. You got like Sheev jumping all over the damn place. And he's supposed to be way faster than he is in the movie, but bumpy road. And then you have the actual end of the fight where Anakin is like, "This is not the Jedi way," and he's like, "He's too powerful to be kept alive." And Sheev's like, "Unlimited power,
unlimited power."
And Anakin's, like, I've had enough of Mace Windu shit.
Chop off his arms.
Cuts off his damn hands off.
Yep. Then you got the other fights left are Obi-Wan Anakin and Yoda Palpatine.
Yeah, so Yoda Palpatine is simply awesome because it has two different aspects of the Force, two different faces. Mm-hmm. One is them being super fast with lightsabers, which is always cool.
Yep. And
then you have the Force battle, which makes sense because these are two of the strongest Force users in the entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, if you had Obi-Wan trying to fight Palpatine with the Force, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Like Obi-Wan he's a strong fighter, but he has never been like a top tier Force user.
Nope.
But Palpatine and Yoda are both top tier, so it makes sense they would try to have a Force battle.
It's a decent matchup.
Yeah, and it ends up with kind of a stalemate, yet it was never supposed to have a definitive conclusion. It was more Palpatine was stalling until he got like reinforcements, and then Yoda was like forced to escape.
Well, I mean, it was a Palpatine victory because he didn't die.
Yeah, that was technically true, even though he didn't quote unquote best Yoda in terms of
he didn't have combat. He just had to survive.
Sure, which keeps Yoda, looking cool.
Yeah.
Actually, Palpatine arguably doesn't win a single lightsaber battle in that movie, yet he still looks great.
Because he won the mind battle, bro. Mind over matter.
He won the overall battle. His plan worked, and he killed the Jedi Order.
He decimated it. But anyway, continue. Yeah. You got the other one?
And then you have the best fight in all of Star Wars, in my opinion, because it is
the Battle of Brothers.
Yeah, I think that's what it is because, okay, Anakin at this point is like fully a villain, yet I can't help but feel like
you want to save him. In fact, there's a point where they don't even touch lightsabers. It's like
true.
They have to fight, but they don't want to.
There's a lot of talking in that fight, but unlike other fights where that feels mostly like it hurts the pacing, I think it actually helps the pacing because it's not just a battle of, who's the better lightsaber duelist. It's about Obi-Wan is trying to save Anakin, but he's too far off the deep end.
I don't think he's trying to save him yet. I think he's
trying to kill him.
I think he's trying to come to terms with the fact that he has to kill him. That this is going to be a fight to the death.
Probably, yeah. That's probably a better way of putting it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he doesn't really try to save him after all. In the end, he's more like, all right, I think he's just coming to terms with, okay, this is no longer my brother. He's become something else. He's become a monster.
Yeah. And it's actually the only fight that I can think of in the entire franchise that is blue lightsaber versus blue lightsaber.
Maybe I don't know off the top of my head, but maybe. Sure. Let's say sure.
to me, it sort of brings back that whole
Brotherhood thing.
Well, not necessarily Brotherhood, but I always get really tired of the same, evil empire fighting against, or the rebel alliance of the good guys fighting against the evil empire of the bad guys, and the bad guys wear black and have red swords, and the good guys have blue swords
because that red sword looks so cool.
I've always said the bad guys look cooler, but it's more of that, Star Wars has always been too literally light versus dark.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of nuance in there. And with the Obi-Wan Anakin fight, it feels like we don't call it Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan, right?
No.
And he's technically Darth Vader at that point.
Yeah.
But
it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
It's Anakin. You can clearly see that there's an Anakin in there. You can clearly see that he's conflicted. He's angry. He's kind of delusional at that point. So it feels more like an emotional fight in that regard. And the blue lightsabers, the fact that he's not using, he's not wearing all black and having the red lightsaber and all, it feels like it's more of a, what do you say? Like a moral dilemma battle.
Yeah, it's definitely a moral dilemma battle.
And I mean, we even see that Obi-Wan at the end doesn't even kill him. He kind of arguably leads him to a worse fate. But
yeah, a fate worse than death.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't die.
But again, here's the thing for that one. It's the conflict for Obi-Wan. Everything here is it's geared towards Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan being the main character. It's not so much about Obi-Wan about Anakin being the great fallen hero. It's about Obi-Wan losing his brother. It's about Obi-Wan having to deal with the fact that he has to fight his brother. And so that's the big flaw there. Anakin was the big flaw in Revenge of the Sith.
Anakin kind of works in the sense that they're trying to push that aspect of his character where he's always been overlooked in a way by the Jedi.
He's been disrespected for sure, but I wouldn't say overlooked.
I guess, yeah, disrespect is a better term for it, but he's trying to prove that, he's the most powerful, the most competent, and he's just sick of the Jedi Order as an institution and whatnot. And I mean, at that point, he's gone delusional, thinking he's,
that Padme's cheating on him with Obi-Wan.
I could see it. You have turned her against me.
If I was Padme, sure.
You did that yourself.
You kidding me? Jesus Christ over here? Of course.
Hell yeah.
Which is ironic because Anakin was born like Jesus Christ.
And he's technically the hero.
I don't think so.
By the end of Return. Well, that was kind of the idea, sort of.
The redemption. He was redeemed. I wouldn't say he was heroic. He was redeemed.
I wouldn't say he was redeemed. I would say he was heroic because he did a whole bunch of bad shit. He did the one good thing, but there's a whole lot of baggage behind that.
I guess. All right, sure.
He did kill all those younglings.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Master Skywalker, they're surrounding the building. What are we going to do? And yeah, to me, that Revenge of the Sith is definitely, well, maybe it's not that underrated because people tend to like that one the most out of the prequel trilogies.
Yeah, I mean, I had it number 6, so I don't completely disagree with you. I just disagree with you in the fact that you think it's better than Rogue One.
I was kind of debating that one. I just think since it's the emotional conclusion of the trilogy, it had more of an impact than Rogue One, which was a movie that introduced the characters in just one movie and killed them off at the end.
I guess.
So,
and then again,
this one, it's we've seen Mace Windu, we've seen Yoda, we've seen Anakin for 3 movies now, so it holds more weight.
And also, you saw it when you were younger, so I guess that makes a little bit more sense.
Dude, and that what's the planet that Obi-Wan and Anakin fight on?
I don't remember. You mean the volcano planet? I don't know. I'm terrible with names.
dude, that volcano planet had an awesome Lego set, which I had. It may be a little bit over the top to have like the final battle be like in the most evil looking place ever,
Of course.
but it was cool.
Let me see if I can find it here. Mustafar. It's actually a great name.
Mustafar.
The Duel on Mustafar.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, it's a little bit over the top, but it's over the top in a cool way.
It is. It's a
lava
planet.
planet.
It was aesthetically pleasing, and that's probably the reason why they ended up doing 2 blue lightsabers, because it was a whole red planet.
Yeah, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, it was a kick-ass battle. Like, the one thing that I'll not knock Hayden Christensen on is his lightsaber skills. Like, dude was him and Ewan McGregor are the best duelist I've ever seen
in Star Wars.
Of course, that's what we're talking. I mean, nobody else was even really close. I mean, Darth Maul maybe was
Mace Windu was good.
He was good, but the most impressive, the one that's in the best fights twice is Obi-Wan. Like,
well, maybe the best fight choreographer was Darth Maul.
Probably, yeah.
He did all the flips and shit.
Yeah, but he was only there for the first one. He wasn't there for the rest.
Hey, you never saw Rebels?
Fine. All right, so move on.
My boy Darth Maul lived. Anyways, and of course, I mean, this is technically number 1. But,
wait, what? So we're number 2, but it's technically number 1?
Well, it's because I have the Clone Wars in general as number 0.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because the number 1 movie is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I don't think I even need to add that much.
No, you don't need to explain it.
There's not a lot to explain there. You know, it's just
I don't think there's even much of a debate with anybody there.
Probably not. I mean, I guess you could argue some stuff didn't age the best, but it aged the best out of the original trilogy by far.
Yep, definitely by far, because the story's so good.
And I mean, it has the best pacing. It's probably the most iconic. It has great drama, great acting, great story. The actual lightsaber battle between Luke and Vader is pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
like, it's really good for especially when you compare it to fucking New Hope.
It was an upgrade, definitely.
Yeah,
and Mark Hamill's an upgrade from Ian McGinnis.
A little bit, and wait, did you combine Ewan McGregor with Alec Guinness?
I did, yes.
Damn. Ewan McGinnis.
I said, yeah, Ewan McGinnis. Whoops.
Nice.
Telling you, names are not my thing.
Yeah. You know how people always argue, like, oh, Rey is not a Mary Sue because, like, she, like, trained with a stick or whatever, so she should be able to fight with a lightsaber?
Yeah.
Well, I always thought that was a stupid argument. But then they go, oh, well, then she went to train with Luke, and then, then she could fight. It's like, well, first off, she didn't even train. And second off, when she left her training early, like Luke did, she was totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, there was no negative repercussion to her leaving training early. And they would say, oh, well, Luke left his training early. Yes, and he got his ass whooped.
He lost a hand.
Yeah.
And hey, Rey learned how to heal people for no reason.
Yeah, she turned into Katara or something.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying that overall the best thing is Clone Wars, right? Anything
the Clone Wars in general.
That's the most interesting time period by far. Which is weird, because I mean, all throughout you got 3 wars overall. You got the Clone Wars, then you got the Empire Wars, and then you got the First Order Wars. And the most interesting one was the Clone Wars.
Well, you also have the. Oh no! Wait, no. The Clone Wars is the beginning of the battle against the Separatists, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which the way that he plays that, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell Palpatine convinced Dooku to help him out. But it's like, all right, I know that I got these groups of people they're going to cause problems if I want to take over the Republic. So I gotta make them start a war with the Republic. Now, how can I do that? And how the Republic doesn't want to have an army, so I need to convince them to also get an army, while at the same time the other dudes are getting an army, and I need to keep playing both sides against each other. And it's insanity the way that he did it. Honestly, like I said, that's Littlefinger, Varys level stuff. Sidious is definitely underrated as a villain.
Sidious is my boy. And actually, as a little plot twist, because Clone Wars is my number 0, because it's the best thing in Star Wars. But as a nod to one of my buddies, I'm actually going to put at -1 the Knights of the Old Republic.
The game?
Yes.
Okay, that's cheating, but all right.
As straight up the best thing that Star Wars ever did.
Fine. Read the books. Heir to the Empire is really good. But all right, it's almost 2 hours. We went through a lot. So I think that's a good place to stop. How do you feel? Do you got anything else you want to add?
What was that game called? Jedi Fallen Order. That's a good game.
That's actually, yeah. I'm not done with it yet, but I've actually enjoyed it a lot. So that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. If you want to find my kid brother, I don't know. Eric?
After what I've said about Star Wars, I don't want people finding me.
That is true. All right, so I don't know.
If you want to communicate with me, just ask Dario.
Yeah. All right, so apparently we can do this via Zoom, so we may be doing 1 or 2 more podcasts here and there, but we'll play that by ear. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.